Global super teacher conference, get informed, go perform, get informed, go perform.
First question is, how do you prepare your learners for exams in your school?
Yes, at GIS, we believe that examinations is the capstone of everything that we do throughout the academic year. Assessment in examinations is only summative, but the run-off to the summative is the formative. And therefore, assessments in homework, classwork, quizzes, and so on exposes our students to the curriculum and prepares them and gives them enough practice towards the examinations.
Just like my senior colleague has said, examination is usually the capstone, right? So again, we have a lot of formative, but even with that, usually from the beginning of the academic year, we usually help the students to do their own personalized study timetable. Now, this helps us to tailor their learning so that they can actually achieve their goals for the term.
My second question then is, are there strategies that you think work better for learners generally than others? So what are you finding works really well at Alpha Beta?
Right, so in Alpha Beta, one of the strategies we use, amongst a lot, aside the impromptu quizzes and then the monthly test or the continuous assessment test that we do, is a program we call the IEP, which is called the Individualized Educational Programs. Right, now, to be very honest, a lot of the learners do not want to be on that program, especially when they are actually supervising, especially if you have like a prefect supervising the juniors and they are in the same IEP. It brings a lot of embarrassment to them. So usually they don't even want to be there. Now, so they end up being on their toes. Nobody wants to get a D. That's our cutoff point, right? So double D, 2 Ds or less, you qualify for the IEP. And you only get off the IEP when you can prove in the next assessment that you are actually not getting your Ds. In addition to the IEP that we have the Improve Yourself program where students are able to do that. So these are some of the challenges that are really, 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 really working.
At Ghana International School, we have a lot of support system for our students. Support system for high achievers, support system for medium achievers, and support system for low achievers. There's a whole SEN department that takes care of students with special needs to help them achieve. We have a very good learning environment that stimulates learning, and we take time to curate this learning environment to make sure that it is very stimulating. We have well-resourced labs, libraries, listening, ICT, and so on, and we make sure that the students make maximum use of this. The support system usually involves the parents in parent-teacher conferences, student-led conferences throughout the term to make sure that all the actors involved in the child's learning are part of the learning. The research shows that 60% of the child's learning is influenced from outside the classroom, which is the home environment. And therefore, engaging parents throughout the term to ensure that we track the students' learning is very important. And our partnership with the parents is paramount to us as GIS. And therefore, we engage them every step of the way. We have a good learning management system that tracks students' progress and ensures that students get the needed help that they should get before exams. And so throughout the term, we are tracking the students' homework, classwork, the students' learning in the classroom, participation. The system is also even able to take attendance at lessons to ensure that no student is skipping lessons, because we take the formative very seriously and ensure that all students have access and participate in the learning.
How do you support learners with special educational needs?
In Alpha Beta, we also have the special needs office. Now, in Alpha Beta, we actually have zero tolerance for stigmatization. I mean, our learners are very much aware of that. The counseling department, in partnership with the special needs department or the special needs office, work with these children. Now, usually they counsel them. We promote this kind of inclusive and integrated learning programs for them so that they are not stigmatized or they don't feel left out. When it goes beyond the office, the special needs office, we actually refer them to experts. So sometimes some of these experts come to the school, work with the children, whilst the facilitator in the classroom is also working, And this is how we actually help our special needs students to feel integrated and included in classroom environment so that they are not left out.
We begin the journey with admissions. We pick up special needs students right from the admissions, the reports we get from their former schools, the entrance exams they write. We make sure that the exams is diagnostic and we're able to pick up special needs students right from the admissions. We also encourage parents to do cognitive testing for their wards. We have, as I said, a whole unit called the SEND department, headed by the SEND coordinator, and we employ a lot of assistant teachers who specialize in special needs to help the children in class and outside class. Our students are very supportive because we educate them to understand special needs, so they support their peers who have special needs. Also, during examinations, we give them accommodations, extra time, extra space, those who need space alone to work because of being distracted. We give them support during the exams, and in the international Cambridge exams that we write for special accommodations for such students so that they are not unduly disadvantaged. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A lot there for all of us to digest, I think. Absolutely brilliant, the practices that are going on in both schools. My last question now to both of you, and I'll start this time with Sir Francis. What other practices in your school would you like to share with us that I haven't touched on regarding getting learners ready for assessments?
I did mention that the actors in the child's learning are the parents and the child himself or herself. But there's also the teachers. Teacher supervision is key. Most schools that succeed, they have strong teacher supervision to ensure that the teacher is delivering the curriculum. The teacher has the tools. The teacher has the necessary professional development to encourage lifelong learning. We organize our yearly time conference where we organize professional development for teachers in our school and other schools. We also encourage our students to own their own learning. So we encourage them to own their learning by developing very good learning habits, the use of their free periods, the use of teacher support, as in students in the upper secondary going to see their teachers when they are free so that they can get help, so that they can own the learning. Also, student achievement, especially when it comes to standardized tests or exit exams for those who are in Form 5, Upper 6, SHS3, JHS3, and so on, depends on the curriculum. The rigor of the curriculum sets a tone for the student learning. And therefore, if the curriculum encourages holistic lifelong learning that incorporates a lot of life skills, a lot of co-curricular activities that support the learning. Because sometimes the co-curricular activity is rather termed extracurricular, which is something extra that students do. But it is co-curricular because it supports the curriculum. So if we find that students are not doing well in math, we will prescribe chess as a co-curricular activity for them, for example. Students who have problems with English, literature, and so on, we may prescribe a co-curricular activity like spoken word, debate club, MUN, and so on, so that they can polish their communication skills. So the co-curricular activities are really supposed to support the curriculum, and they are supposed to be designed with special skills which are measured to help to build skills to help support the curriculum. Thank you.
In addition to all that Mr. Francis has said, in Alpha Beta, what we also do is that we usually share, as teachers, we share best practices. Another thing that we do for our students is also to share model answers, so that they don't think that they are, you think you are getting your A or your A star and you are comfortably lying around 90, 92%, but somebody is getting like 99%, So we also share those best practices or best answers just to encourage them, just for them to know that, you can actually be a global citizen or be a champion of the world, not just in Alpha Beta, so that they can always have that quality in terms of how they write, in terms of how they answer questions, in terms of how they talk, all around. So that students are encouraged, just like what Mr. Francis said, Model UN, we participate in Model UN a lot, collaborative skills, partnership amongst the students, MICE, which is more like a math Olympiad, we even encourage, usually we say these competitions are for the smart students, but it will surprise you to know that somebody may be scoring 70 or 75% who you would have naturally thought, oh, this guy shouldn't be part. We actually include them, and you'll be amazed that these guys are actually competing with students who are scoring 90, 95%, in these competitions. So that's what we do in Alpha Beta, in addition to what Mr. Francis has said as well. Yeah.
Thank you. I hope you're getting the gist of why these schools are coming to show and tell the exceptional stuff that is going on in their schools with regard to how they are monitoring their learners in readiness for the external exams. Thank you so much, Sir Francis, and thank you so much, Sir David.
For more information, just call 026-271-4106. The Global Super Teachers Conference. Get informed, go perform.
This conference is brought to you by Africa Education Gateway, Pearson Edexcel, Glossnet, School World Events, NAPS, Access Bank Ghana, and Ghana Olympiad Academy.
It's the Global Super Teachers Conference. Get informed, go perform.
Glow